Okay, Eli, give it to me.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Lay down your soul to the gods rock and roll. Black metal. That's a Venom song, for those who don't
Is
know.
it?
Yeah.
Venom doesn't rap or anything like that. Okay. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies Nursery Bully. My host Leroy, aka Knock Knock Let Mephisto In, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Punkenstein.
There you go. My reference was also from a Venom song. Eminem. Yeah, and we're back with an episode we're gonna jump into. And I know you see the pink layout, stuff like that. Let me explain it. This is for breast cancer month. It's October.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that's
there
what
you go.
I've
I
actually
did
been
not know
trying to
that.
do this for the last 3 years, Eli, but I didn't know how to do it. Because StreamYard doesn't hand out, owner's manuals with this shit. So you just kind of figure this shit out. One day I was like, what if I do this and then do that? And then boom, there you go. Okay, so it's there. So no, this is not a permanent thing. This is just a thing for the month, which I meant to do it for the whole month, but nigga done. So
Well, there you go.
that's okay. So now we can just move on to the next part of the podcast. But before we move on into the immediate podcast, Eli, can we do some house cleaning?
Sure.
Okay, let's do some house cleaning because last week I made a clip of something that we said on the podcast that I knew was going to be controversial. It ended up being controversial, and a lot of people had issues with the thing I said on there. So I'm going to address that real quick. They had an issue with me bringing up Sexy Velma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had a lot of issues. Eli, they were hot. They were pissed. They were calling us a lot of names. Apparently, both of us are gay now. After
Okay.
this show, we're going to go home to our boyfriends.
Okay. So we're
Because
gay this week when we were homophobic last week.
internet, make up your minds. What
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
we?
We can't keep up with all the accusations.
We can't be one thing this week and one thing another week. We got to be one thing or another. But my thing is this: like it got so crazy that people calling me gay in my inbox. No, I'm sorry, calling us gay in our inbox. Eli, because remember we're one band, one sound.
Yeah.
Even though this shit I said last week, even you was just like, Leroy, you on your own with that. The views of this podcast do not reflect the views of
Yeah.
Eli.
Too late. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You're gay now, so have fun with that.
Hey, sometimes you just got to be fabulous. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, bitch.
Yeah. Slay queen. Yeah.
But another thing, and here's another thing: people were sending me links to like Facebook pages with kinky Velma stuff on there. I'm like, okay, you motherfuckers.
You sure you don't want to see this?
I'm like, what the fuck? You motherfuckers are sick, man. That's all I gotta say. Y'all some sick bastards out there, man, for doing this stuff. But my whole point I was trying to make with that, man, that we don't need to sexualize everything. We don't need sexy Wednesday. We don't need sexy Optimus Prime. I actually wouldn't mind that. Okay, that's my own fetish. But that's okay. The point is, we don't need to sexualize.
He's coming one of these days.
Yeah, right. I've spoken into existence. I just realized that. All right, but the whole point is, we don't need to sexualize everything. Let characters that are characters be characters. Let sexy characters be sexy characters. Yeah, there are sexy characters you can sexualize in there. For instance, like Chloe Bailey as Mrs. Incredible, or Chloe Bailey as Catwoman, or Chloe Bailey as Betty Boop, or if you look like Chloe Bailey, do Chloe Bailey. So there you go. I'm giving you options to go out there, So think
Hey,
outside the box.
I never wanted to have sex with Pinhead until Megan Thee Stallion.
See, I hope this doesn't awaken something in me.
Yeah.
Community reference.
Yeah. We are explorers from the farthest reaches of experience. If she said that shit to me, I'm like, let's go.
Oh, Bill, but hot though. Like I said, I've been down this road before. We're gonna go past it. We're gonna go past that. We're not gonna bring that back up. Okay. All right. So, like I said, we're gonna talk about something that I saw. I saw a movie.
You did see a
about
movie.
it. I did see a movie. Now I do want to talk about the box office. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. Venom 3 was the number one movie in the box office. Thing about this movie is that nobody gave a shit about it in America. But if you pay close attention, they don't make these movies for America. It's already almost at 200 million worldwide for the weekend because of overseas, because of China. They love these movies.
Like, yeah, I guess. Like, look at these dumb Americans.
They make like plush dolls out of Venom and shit like that. That's why there are 3 of these movies. Because of China. We don't give a shit about this movie. Clayton Pixby. Okay, remind me not to click on that. Okay, but thanks for listening. Now I'm just gonna get into a review. I'm gonna just kind of like get to the point of this. Okay, yes, this is a bad movie. Let's just get it out of the way right now. It's a bad
They've all
movie.
been bad, yeah.
They've all been bad. However, I think this is the best of the bad movies. Now, when I say best, understand what I mean. I mean, like, it's slightly less bad than the other bad movies. Like, the first one I thought was bad, but had some moments in it where it's almost like campy, where it knew it was bad. Part two was just fucking terrible. Part two, it's the same level as Morbius and Madam Web. It's on that level. Part three, now, I don't know if it's actually better or it's just that I'm used to or accustomed to these movies by this point. Like, third movie, I know what I'm getting going in, so I'm not upset. I know Tom Hardy is doing a bad performance. I know Venom is annoying as fuck. I know they're going to do some silly comedy that don't work. So going in, it is what it is. And I actually came, and there was some parts in here that, at like the third act, I was just like, this actually isn't completely terrible. I'm actually kind of like awake watching this. So that's better than the other movies. So I'm giving it credit for that. I'm giving a little bit of credit on that. Now
they assimilated you into the hive.
That's all. I mean, that's what the other movies did. So I at least got to give it credit for that. Now the thing is, there is this myth, like Eli, like I said, this is a comic podcast, so we got to dig a little bit deeper because there is this myth that people keep saying that Venom doesn't work without Spider-Man, and we both know that is bullshit.
Yeah,
because Venom's like last good run was the Donny Cates run.
Donny Cates, y'all.
Donny Cates, y'all. He gave us all this lore, all this backstory. Spider-Man barely showed up in this. Like, he showed up every time with like a big event, so like that. For the most part, this shit had nothing to do with Spider-Man because his lore was so massive and cosmic and shit like that. Like, Spider-Man got nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
So and they were able to tell stories. Not only that, they introduced No, the King in Black. And all this, the god of the symbiotes and all this stuff like that. So they introduced him in the King of Black. And yes, that is the King of Black to me is the coolest Marvel story this decade. Like, starting from 2029, it's the coolest Marvel story this decade.
I think I would back that. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is, the trailers. Did you see any of the trailers, Eli?
Yeah.
Okay, you saw the trailers. So
I saw Null in the trailers. Yeah.
They wanted to bait you. They wanted to bait you thinking like, okay, yeah, Venom fights Null and shit like that. I'm gonna tell you right there, everything you saw of Null in the trailer, that's Null in the movie.
Also, Null wasn't in this movie.
Everything you saw in the trailer, that was his scenes. That was it. he shows up. He like sits. He never gets off the chair. He stays in the chair the entire time the movie time he shows up. So that's it. And all he does is he throws like some kind of mutant. Okay, here's the thing about this movie. One, because these are shitty Sony movies. So the main bad guy of this movie is this mutant alien bug thing. Okay. Apparently he's from the comics. I don't give a shit. He looks stupid as fuck. So he was the main villain of the movie. And he chased Venom all through the movie. And basically the movie is a road trip movie because he's like hopping from place to place to run away from this alien bug thing. And he just goes to different places, stuff like that. And he ends up in Las Vegas. And of course, he has a dance number with Mrs. Chen. I'll be honest with you. This is probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Well, that's sad.
It was a dance number where they danced to ABBA's The Last Dance.
Now, yeah, that's like depressing now.
That's depressing. That a Venom movie, that's a dance musical number is the best thing in the movie. It is. I don't care. Now, a lot of people just see this thing like, this shit. But when you accept what you're watching, you're just like, fuck it, just go with it, man. I don't care. I know everybody else see because these comic movies for some reason love to throw musical dance numbers in it, right? For some reason, and they all hate them. Like they're like garlic to vampires with comic book fans and dance music. Like, Marvel's musical. Get the fuck away from me. You know, Joker 2, get this shit away from me. And then, yes, this is it also. So it's a long dance musical, but the movie was so goofy at this point. I'm just like, whatever. So
might as well.
Yeah, might as well. But yeah, like I said, Noel, and I will say this: Noel is in the movie, but I will give them credit that Noel is so insignificant in this movie that they don't fuck him up. Because that's what I hate about this movie when you take this cool ass villain and fuck him up.
I think that was our concern.
That was our concern. They were gonna fuck up. We tell him, "Oh, Null is this, Null is that," and then you watch the movie. Man, Null ain't shit. Like if he shows up in the third act and then like punches him one time and then he's dead and shit like that. Like no, that's not like that's the dude you were telling me this is this your king? You know?
Yeah. That's what we were. That's I think we addressed that. Like he's one of the most powerful villains of all time that took like the whole Marvel universe couldn't even destroy. And that Venom was just gonna like Venom and his horse were gonna like
Venom and Madam Web would show up, you know.
Morbius and
Craven or some shit.
Shocker and fucking Vulture.
Some shit like that. We're not gonna go into a deep dive of who Null is. Null has done a lot of shit. I just briefly, like I said, if anybody's seen Thor: Love and Thunder, the God Butcher, the sword he was using was a Necro sword. That's Null's sword.
Yeah.
That's what he was using in there. Also, some other things. He went to war with the Celestials one time. Null's floating his head. He's the one that cut it off. So you get all this crazy shit. That's just a sample of some stuff he's done in the comics. He's like badass among badasses. But yeah, so they didn't fuck him up because he was so insignificant in the movie. It's like if they want to say they're not gonna do anything with him. They're not. This is it. This is the most you're gonna get.
That's what I've heard. I again, TikTok could spoil the shit. They did show like an after credit scene with him, and they're like, "Oh, they're teasing that this could be the big bad, and there's going to be a Spider-Man crossover, and blah 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 blah, and all that shit." You know,
they do shit like that all the time, man. No one cares. Remember, you ever seen Masters of the Universe in the 80s?
Oh yeah.
Remember the end when Skeletor, like, "I'm not dead, I'll be back."
I'll be back. Yeah, or something.
It's that. That's what it is. So don't expect too much for that. So that's it for that. What else? Other little things that happened in this movie. Okay. Like I said, the trailer was nothing but tea. They showed Knowles. You got to go see Knowles. Also, they showed your boy, Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's in the movie. So and remember, he was in the Doctor Strange movie as Baron Mordo. So they're like, oh, they do some multiversal crossover bullshit. Are they combining? Is there synergy? No, it's not. You know who he was playing? Rex Strickland.
Ross? Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he was playing Rex Strickland. So, like I said, they were taking elements from the Donny Cates
run. From the Donny Cates run, yeah.
From the Donny Cates run. But keep in mind, he's just a generic army dude. So everything you
What was that? What was Venom or something? Venom.
Venom. That he was like a symbiote in Vietnam or some shit.
Yeah. Venom.
Yeah. So all the cool shit that you expect to see in these movies from the Donny Cates run, they don't do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you go into this movie, don't go in as a comic book fan that has read this stuff and know this stuff and expects to see this stuff, because if you're a comic fan and you see this, because what they did, they take the King in Black story, the Donny Cates story, they bastardized it, butchered it, chopped it up, and gave you just little sprinkles of shit to make, idiots like us go, ooh, things you may not know.
Had him in it
Rex Strickland.
Yeah, had him in it so little that they didn't have to pay Donny Cates or
exactly. Even though he was actually to get paid, so he didn't have to do that stuff. So yeah, so if you're a comic book fan, don't listen to my review on this. This movie is basically like two guys holding you down while a third guy makes you watch while he takes a blowtorch to your comics. That's what this is. So don't go in with that mind frame watching this movie. They say this is the third Venom movie. Now, there are some people that like these movies.
Obviously, they made three of them.
They made three of them. So yes, they made obvious. So yes, if people are asking, will you like this movie? If you like those other two pieces of shit movie, you will like this one. I mean, there's no reason why you wouldn't. The third, So, and the third act, man, is just so, oh man, it's bad. It's good and bad at the same time. Because what they do, okay, all right, you've read the comics, you know how they got all these Venom people like Agony and Scream and Launcher and Blazer and Tasers and Phasers and all this shit like that. So they just do some shit since that alien bug is too much for Venom. All of them, all the symbiotes start latching on to like scientists and shit, and they all just cameo and we're here. I know why they did that. They did that so Todd McFarlane can cut a deal with them, and he can make them action figure toys and charge $100 a pop for Launcher and Phaser and Fag and Agony and all this shit.
Carnage.
Carnage and all this shit like that, so he can get paid. I mean, he should get paid. I mean, he made Venom, so he should get cut in on
He
this shit.
should, yeah.
Yeah, but come on, man. That's just you're gonna hate me for this, Eli. Because I do feel like they did that shit just for dollar signs. It did very much feel like when George Lucas made the Ewoks. I know you hate it when I say that shit, but it's very much, it was the 80s. What did we love more than 80s? Teddy bears. So what you gonna do? Make warrior teddy bears, and George Lucas was like, I can smell the money.
Chop the Wookiees in half and make them cute.
And make them cute and cuddly and sell that shit. It was like, man, he could smell the money from a mile away when he did.
They sold like hotcakes.
They sold like hotcakes. They love them. So yeah, this feels
I
like
had
that.
Ewok
like
soap. Do they got Venom soap?
I mean, they will. You say, hell, Megan Thee Stallion is promoting this shit. Like, what? Why is she promoting Venom?
Yeah, smell like Venom.
I don't know, man.
Smell like Brock.
Oh man, I'm trying to see what else going on with the movie. I think that's the high points of it. Like I said, it's the plot is nonsensical. It's a road trip movie. They just bounce from place to place to place, running from an alien bug monster. A bunch of other Venom show up in the third act. And yes, the way they set it up, this is very much the last movie. Like, this is it. They're done. They may do something else. They may reboot it. Whatever else they do, they're done. So that's all I got. Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far along.
They get a deep dive, fucking
like things you made that. No, I have.
What is Venom?
Right. I have deep dived as long as I need to in this movie. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap a score on it. Now, this movie is a 3 out of 5. That's what it is. It is not the worst. People are going to say it's the worst movie of all time. It's the worst movie of the year. It's all this shit like that. It's not. It's not. It's just a middling, movie that kind of will keep your brain going and then you forget about it when it's in. Because here's another reason why I think I'm being so lenient in this movie. Because remember, Eli, I reviewed 3 bad movies in a row. I reviewed Megalopolis. Now, I will say this about Megalopolis. The movie was so bad that you can meme it. I've seen memes pop up at that movie. So that's one thing. Then you got Joker 2, which is bad because the movie is a straight up fuck you to the audience. So it goes out of its way to antagonize its people. Venom 3, on the other hand, doesn't do any of those things. It doesn't antagonize your fan base. It's not memeable. You won't see anything from it. I mean, I know you saw some Easter eggs and bullshit like that, but other than that, a week from now, we won't care about this movie. And it's 90 minutes. It gets in, it gets out. The movie doesn't overstay its welcome. It does what it needs to do. Silly road trip movie, action scene, get over with, move out the way, and we're done. And that's all you need, man. That's it.
It's a comic book movie in 2024.
Yeah, and that's why I put on the thumbnail, Eli, Martin Scorsese was right. I won't go into detail about it, but that's what it is. So we can move on past it, Eli. So now I'm gonna let you take over because you saw a movie also.
I did see a movie.
Okay, you go ahead and tell us what you got, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you a grand opening or some shit.
Okay, I saw The Substance, and holy shit. Whoa, that's not all I got to say, but that's like holy shit. This movie is fucking bonkers. This movie grossed me out.
Grossed you out? That's how
grossed me out. Yes, I had to look away a few times. Yes, this, and I've said this before. I have my gross out triggers. One being shit, other being bugs, and the third one being food.
Yeah.
This movie made food look disgusting.
Okay. Yeah, I can't do that either.
Yes. I'm just saying, if you're a fan of, if you like shrimp, do not watch or look away. Just look away, like I did. Nasty. So anyways, The Substance, it's like a satire on how Hollywood treats actresses when they age.
And when we age, we mean 35.
Yes. So this has Demi Moore, who still looks great.
Right.
She plays this aging, like, sex symbol actress. She's the host of this aerobic show. And basically she's getting older. The network is replacing her. They want a younger, hotter actress. So she ends up finding finds this like underground like drug pharmaceutical company that has this secret substance that basically makes your body split in two and a younger version of yourself takes over. And you have to, it has strict guidelines. I'm kind of getting into a little bit of spoiler territory, but that's the concept. The younger self, they can live for each other as a week. So the younger self lives for a week, and then the older self has to turn back. Yes, for a week, and it's strict. You got to follow these guidelines.
1 week on, 1 week off.
Yeah, basically. Okay. And of course, the younger, hotter version ends up becoming the new host, starts getting super famous, becomes the new it girl, the new celebrity. And of course, they don't follow the directions, and this leads to complications.
They don't have the same mind. Is that like Shazam or some shit?
It's kind of like they're supposed to. Like they say, remember, you're not two people, you're one. But right. But basically, yeah, she starts to try to stay in young longer, and that leads to complications, and the complications are gross. So she starts to mutate, and this movie is a total homage to like The Thing, The Fly, like David Cronenberg movies, Altered States, fucking Akira. Remember the ending of Akira,
like towards the end, where
when he's blobbing out like shit like that. So it's like a very grotesque body horror movie, but it's also hilarious. Like it pokes fun at Hollywood. It's very much told from a woman's perspective, and all the bullshit that they got to do, like the beauty standards and how ridiculous those expectations are. All the shit that they got, the makeup, the hair, the outfits, the shoes, like all the bullshit that they have to endure to like go out, just to go outside. Right. And it's just like, it just totally makes fun of all that and just shows you how ridiculous those standards are, and how all the people that are making these expectations are all old, fat, fugly dudes.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, the guy, the head of the head of the network, his name is Harvey. So it's like a total
message.
It's like yes, it's totally like in your face with the with the commentary, but it goes so deep into like how we view our bodies. Like I said, even though it's told from a woman's perspective, I think everybody can relate to how we tend to get down on ourselves, on our appearance. I think everybody can relate to that.
I think it is very much harder on women, though. I know we want to say equality, but it definitely is a double standard when it comes to
and of course, like the ageism, how she's meant to feel like there's no use for her anymore. Just because she's in her 50s now, and like, her career is over. But yeah, just like how the younger self and the older self start resenting each other, like the sort of split, like how we get down on ourselves, like we hate ourselves for our appearance or whatever. So it goes deep, like even though like the on the surface commentary is right in your face, there's so many layers to this. Like, okay, spoilers. There's a spoiler. There's a scene at the end where she's mutating into this blob thing, and a breast sprouts out of her eye socket.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking crazy. But then I started thinking about it. That's like a total like commentary on how women are reduced to their body parts.
Symbolism, right?
Yeah, the symbolism, the male gaze, like there's so much of that's just in there.
That's what I was talking about, the damn sexy Velma thing. Like we want to sexualize everything. Like
yes, and even like the sexy scenes, like the aerobics, like when she's hosting her show, the aerobic show, like there's like close-ups on like ass and boobs, like it just goes to show like how ridiculous the beauty industry is. And like it's just kind of silly,
right?
Like
it's supposed to be an aerobics workout for women, but you got a whole bunch of dudes watching it.
Because, and it's and even as a male, I'm a straight dude. I'm watching. I'm like, it made me question how I view that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like yeah, like I said, it goes deeper. Like, wow, this is like, hitting on just so many levels. So it was like, it grossed me out. It made me laugh my ass off. It was also very sad, but it was also like thought provoking, as well. So, but it's like one of the coolest movies I've seen this year, if not the coolest movie I have seen this year. My only regret or my only critique is it's fucking long. It's like 2.5 hours.
Okay. I mean, it looked like it has a lot to say. So.
But like the last 10 minutes is just bonkers. So that's basically what it's funny, it's sad, it's gross, and it makes you think, So yeah, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Like I said, my only gripe is that it's really long, and I kind of started to feel it towards the end. But like I said, the last act is just crazy. Like, but it is hilarious. Like I said, I was laughing my ass off, while getting grossed out at the same time. So, and it's like I say, like the effects, the practical effects in this, like it's gory. The gore effects are top notch. The creature, special effects are dope. It's like it blew my mind almost like the first time I saw The Thing as a kid, or when I saw the chestburster scene from Alien as a kid. Like that's like how much impact it had on me. Like I was so like, what the fuck, that's what it reminded me of. So yeah, I this is like a double thumbs up for me. Like this was great, but it is gross. It's a very it grossed me out more than Terrifier. So yeah, good shit.
Damn. Okay. So if it grossed you out, I don't know. I don't know about that. Even though I do like the message. Oh yeah. Man. What was I gonna say next? Oh, you remember the girl from Once Upon a Time in Mexico? Oh,
Hollywood. Yeah, she's in this. Yeah, she's in this. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I figured you recognize her. All right, so we're moving on to the next part of the podcast. Still on you.
Okay.
Now we're going to talk about this is Eli's House of Horror-dom.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Hullabaloo.
Yeah.
It's now, October.
Eli, I want you to get it all out your system. Like I said, it's the last week of October.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So get it all out. I want you to leave it all on the table.
All right. We'll put them up and I'll knock them down. So basically, yeah, like Leroy said, every October I try to do some sort of horror theme segments, and like this week we've done horror games, like horror video games. I did like horror comedies. I think this week I decided to do Final Girls. My favorite Final Girls. These are my favorite. I'm not saying they're the best. I'm saying they're my favorite. So you've
had this list for a while, so it's not like you just thought about it spur of the moment.
Yeah, well, it has changed over the years because I've seen newer stuff, so it has changed. I had to omit some of the people that were on there. I only picked 5, so I had to omit a few. I can mention them, but yeah, these are just my favorite Final Girls. And for those who don't know what a Final Girl is, they're the last remaining surviving woman of a horror flick. Most notably slasher flicks. So I'm going to say that these are from slasher flicks, slasher movies. So I did not include Ripley because Alien is kind of a sci-fi horror. It's not not just it's more sci-fi.
It dabbles.
Yeah, it has slasher elements, but I didn't include that because then Ripley would have been my number 1. I didn't I could have included Kirsty Cotton from Hellraiser, but Hellraiser again has slasher elements, not really a slasher. Terminator, even like Sarah Connor in the first Terminator, that's a straight up slasher flick like plot, but
very much so, yeah.
But it's more sci-fi. So I saw a list recently, a Final Girl list, and they included Wendy from The Shining, which I thought was hilarious, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I just thought that was funny because lately, in this day and age, in this Gen Z, millennial internet generation,
Mhm.
it's cool to shit on The Shining.
Yeah.
And we said this years ago, like, man, kids these days ain't gonna understand The Shining, and we were
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
People been
They look at it through different eyes.
yeah, they've been shitting on The Shining. They don't understand that what a classic it is, and
Mhm.
how quote one of the most quotable movies of all time, and they love all that A24 pretentious, artsy fartsy horror shit like Hereditary and The Lighthouse and all those Ari Aster movies that basically ripped off The Shining. But
Right.
I digress. Yeah, put that up and watch that go viral. But anyways, like I said, these are from strictly slasher movies, So that's how I put this list together. So, like I said, let's put them up and I'll talk them. No particular order. I'll just talk about them.
Okay, here we go. First one. Boom.
Sidney Prescott from Scream.
Hello, Sydney.
Yes. Now I talk a lot of shit on Scream. You've heard me. I basically view the Scream movies of basically ruining horror in the 90s.
Which I don't think they did. I think other movies after them did. But
yeah, they kind of popped. They made horror mainstream and kind of watered it down. After Scream movies, there was a bunch of knockoff, rip-off of Screams that were kind of watered down and fluffy, and they just turned into shitty teeny bopper soap opera movies that I couldn't stand. So I blame Scream for doing that. That being said, the first time I saw the first Scream, I loved it. I was laughing my ass off. I had a blast because Scream was very much a retro sort of meta horror movie. It was making references to horror movies that I grew up on. So there was like a nostalgia feel for Scream. Yeah. So also it basically took the slasher genre and kind of deconstructed it. You had Randy talking about the rules of the horror movie, and Sidney Prescott does not fit into that mold of a final girl.
Well, she has sex, so
yeah, she has sex. She not in my movie. She basically breaks all the rules of horror and still comes out at the end. Because usually the final girls were always the goody, nerdy girls who didn't have sex, who didn't take drugs, didn't drink, the good girl that who was basically more aware of what was going on, where everyone else was getting fucked up and getting laid and getting killed. So that's kind of what they painted final girls as, these like sort of perfect princesses who survive at the end. Well, Sidney Prescott broke all those rules and, like I said, deconstructed the slasher genre, deconstructed what a final girl was. And yeah, so that's why she's on the list.
Okay. Next we have boom.
Okay. Yep. Now, this is Jay Daniels. Now, she's not from a movie. She's from a trilogy of horror books that I read the last couple years. The first book she was in was called My Heart is a Chainsaw. Mm-hmm. Then the next book was Don't Fear the Reaper. And then the last book released this year was called The Angel of Indian Lake. Now she basically is a slasher movie fan girl.
Okay.
She's a nerd. She loves slasher movies. And when a slasher starts happening murders start happening in her town, she uses her horror movie nerd knowledge to sort of solve these. And, she's one of the coolest characters I've ever read in a long time. One of the coolest characters ever made now, and she's indigenous. So these books were written by indigenous horror author Stephen Graham Jones. Mm-hmm. He deconstructs the slasher genres. He takes the elements of what a slasher is, the rules of slasher movies. She writes papers, like in the book, she writes papers on slashers, and she becomes, again, breaks all the rules. She doesn't fit into that mold of the perfect, princess. She is very much a flawed character, with all these imperfections, and doesn't think she's, can live up to the idea of a final girl, but she keeps surviving, in fact, in the first book, when these murders start happening, she starts thinking, oh, well, I got to find myself a final girl who's going to survive all these murders. And she, picks out this one girl in her school, like she's the one who can survive all this, and starts telling her, yo, all these murders are happening, somebody's killing everybody, and you got to get prepared because you're going to be the one who survives this, So that's how the first book is, So anyways, Jade Daniels is just a great character from a trilogy of great horror novels, and I just had to put her on here. She's the final girl of a new generation.
Nice. Okay, next one we have is boom.
Chris Higgins, Friday the 13th, Part 3. Now,
okay.
I have a hard time picking my favorite. I'm a Jason fan. He's like, I'm a Jason fanboy, whatever. So I have a hard time picking which is my favorite Jason final girl. I do like Ginny from part 2. I do like Megan from part 6. Tina, the girl with the psychic powers in part 7. And of course, Tommy Jarvis.
Not a final girl, but yeah.
The best final girl, Tommy Jarvis. But anyways, I gotta say that Chris Higgins, she throws down. She stepped up to Jason. Ginny did too. I got to give credit to Ginny because she's the one who figured out where his, the mom was and impersonated his mom and all that stuff. But Chris, she hangs Jason. She chops him in the, she stabs him. She chops him in the head with a fucking axe. She she threw down with him, but he's Jason and he won't die. Right. So for her to I just remember the first time watching Friday the 13th Part 3 and just rooting for her to get away. And that's the thing. I got to say that because in the 80s, during the golden age of slasher movies, all these horror movies got shit on by critics. They called them sexist. They called them violent. They called them trash. There's no artistic value. But, they made kids, again, I'm a straight dude. They made me empathize with the women. I was rooting for the girl to get away. And I just remember being, holy shit, she's fucking Jason up. So I was rooting for Chris. So that's why she's my favorite. That's why I put her on this list. So yeah, got to give it up to Chris.
All right. Next we have boom.
Stretch from Texas Chainsaw Part 2. Now, Texas Chainsaw Part 2, directed by Tobe Hooper, who directed the original Texas Chainsaw, iconic, classic horror movie, classic movie. He didn't want to he had no interest in doing a sequel. But when he signed to Canon Films and they said, okay, we want you to do a sequel to Texas Chainsaw, he's like, okay, I'm going to make it a stupid comedy that pokes fun at everything, at Hollywood, at sequels, at violence in the movies, at the gore, at just horror in general. So he turned Texas Chainsaw Part 2 into a slapstick satire comedy. And it went over a lot of people's head. This movie goes way deeper than people give it credit for. But Stretch, she is one of maybe the only final girl that I can think of that chases the killers back to their lair. So, okay. Yeah. And she also, when she flirts with Leatherface in the movie, she uses her sexuality as a weapon rather than get punished for it than most of the women in the 80s horror movies.
Yeah, because that's kind of the thing, using sexuality will get you killed. It's kind of like a theme in a lot of these movies.
So. She used that as a source of power. So because of that, she's one of my favorites. So yeah, Stretch. Got to give it up to Stretch.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Ain't Sienna? I thought Sienna.
Hold up. Let me see. Boom. Boom.
Sydney.
Boom.
Sienna.
There
Sienna.
We go. Okay.
Sienna from Terrifier 2. Now, because of Terrifier 3, and I almost didn't put her on here.
That bad?
Well, I felt she didn't get to do much in Terrifier 3. She's just she's going through her trauma and she kind of moped around for most of the movie. I wanted her to be the badass that she was in Part 2. Now, at the end of Terrifier 3, she does throw down and fucks Art the Clown up. But I wanted more of that. I wanted more. I wanted her to be more proactive, like she was in the second one. But yeah, Sienna and Terrifier, she's like just a really cool character. She throws down. Now she's got magical powers. They're like Terrifier. They're creating the lore as they go along. Now she's got magical powers, demon slaying powers, and all that shit. But she's just a cool character. And yeah, she reminds me of Cassie Hack from the Hack Slash comics. The Tim Seeley comics that I just adore. She's like the closest thing that I can think of to being Cassie Hack. So I just think, yeah, Sienna is just a cool character who throws down and fucks up Art the Clown. So yeah, I just had to get that on there. And one of the more modern final girls.
That's why you changed your list.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I tried to, there's some like I almost had what's her name? Geraldine from Demon Knight. But again, Demon Knight, not a slasher flick. But Jada Smith was she was Pinkett back then.
Yeah, Jada Pinkett, yeah.
Yeah, she was from Demon Knight, but that's not technically a slasher movie. So yeah. But runner-ups, honorable mentions. So yeah, so that's my list.
Okay. I want to throw in a dark horse just because. And he had a list. I'm not gonna make a top 5 list. I don't even know if I could make a top 5 list. I just want to throw in honorable mention. Boom. Oh, girl from Friday the 13th. Only reason I'm sorry. Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Oh, Heather. Nancy. Yeah, she's
Nancy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Only reason I'm picking her because this is the 80s and she's wearing a Batman tank top, biker shorts, on a aerobics bike in a magazine. That is the most 80s thing you can ever get. That is peak. That is why she's the GOAT. I don't really care what she did. I just saw this pic. I was like, she's the GOAT. I had
to omit her from this list to make room for more modern final girls. But she used to be on it. Yeah, because she again throws down with Freddy. She like Rambo shit. She sets up booby traps like Rambo and shit. Yeah. So yeah. Also, Laurie Strode was one of my favorites of all time. But after this last Halloween trilogy, even though she's the OG, she's the OG final girl.
She's the OG final girl, but she got cast in the role because of her mom played a psycho.
And she was the daughter of Janet Leigh. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like, we're gonna do a keep the horror genre going. It was almost like stunt casting. So,
yeah. But because the Halloween franchise is so convoluted and all over the place, and I really didn't like those last couple movies.
They'll reboot them. It don't really matter.
The 2018, I really liked how
movies damn near like the X-Men movies now.
Yeah. I really liked her in that first 2018 movie, and then she just didn't do shit for the rest, So that's why she kind of crept off my list. But she's the OG, and even though people talk shit about the first Halloween, say, "Oh my God, yes, Laurie Strode did a lot of stupid things like drop the weapon and fucking like chill out right next to Michael Myers' dead body and shit." Like, but that was the OG. That was the first movie. Nobody made these rules yet, Right. So she was the first. So you got to give it up to Laurie just for that. So yeah.
Cool. All right, can we move on next part of the podcast?
Yep.
Not much. We're just gonna just briefly, slightly tap to the video game section. I'm not gonna get too deep into it because, like I said, we're still in October. It's still Halloween, so I'm not gonna go deep into it. But I do want to mention Call of Duty Black Ops 6 did drop, and yes, it is on Game Pass. So
okay. I could download it. Yeah.
I renew my Game Pass. Well, I will renew it tomorrow. I already bought the code. I'm going to upload the code tomorrow because, get extra day. Why would I do it today when I'm not going to play it? So give me a day out of it. So, yeah. So, yes, I am going to play Black Ops 6. I don't know if I'm going to jump online. Probably will just play the campaign and be done with it because I suck ass at Call of Duty. So there's no reason for me to jump online with these assholes. So
yeah,
I'll just play by myself. I'll probably stream
these perky assholes who are all perked up and perky and shit.
Yeah, and they spend all the money doing this. I don't even know what the fuck Call of Duty is even on anymore. I'm just going to just play it and just figure it out. So, yeah. That's all I'm gonna do. I just want to put that in there. That's all. Can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Cool. All right. We're here. All right. Like I said, this is Comic Book Bully. We're talking about comic books. We're gonna jump into it. And it was a short-ish big week, small week, medium week.
There was a lot of books. Yeah. I try to keep it simple, and because I can only afford so many. So
Yeah, I get it. Like 2 weeks from now, I'll be okay. But right now, I gotta make it. So yeah. All right. So you got more books to me. I'm gonna let you go first.
okay, I guess I'll do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #3,
Teenage Mutant Ninja
written by
Turtles.
Jason Aaron.
Okay, still going strong.
So yeah, this is sort of Jason Aaron writing the Ninja Turtles, and this is the Leo book. So we've had #1 was about Raphael in prison.
Mhm.
#2 was about Michelangelo um, being some sort of action movie star, you know, and they're all finding out that the Foot Clan is back, and up to no good. So this one is all about Leonardo, and Leonardo is he's in India, kind of like on a pilgrimage or a sabbatical or what have you, to gain enlightenment. He's meditating on the Ganges River. He's trying to search for meaning, for purpose. And while he's there, he he finds out that he fights some poachers, and you know but he finds out that the Foot Clan are back, and that they're after them, that they're after his brothers. So he fights some Foot Clan guys, and then at the end we cut back to um Raphael and Michelangelo. So last issue, Raphael and Michelangelo met back up, and they started fighting. So obviously something happened, and there's a reason why none of the turtles are together right now. They seem to all hate each other. So when Michelangelo and Raphael saw each other last issue, they started fighting. Like, what are you doing here? And they started fighting. Like Michelangelo was pissed at Raph. So that's got to whatever happened to make Michelangelo pissed. Who knows? So they're fighting, and then Leo shows up to break up the fight at the end of this comic.
Okay.
And say, hey, we got to band together because the Foot Clan are back and they're after us for some reason. And that's kind of where the book ends.
Wait, is he worshiping turtles right here or something?
Oh, so those turtles are like the Ganges River in India where they do the funerals and stuff. I guess these turtles like feed off the bodies. They're flesh-eating turtles. So he goes there, like basically tries to pledge allegiance to them. He's looking for enlightenment and stuff. And then poachers come and are trying to get those turtles. And he ends up, killing the poachers and beating up the poachers and shit.
Nice, okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's Jason Aaron doing Ninja Turtles, so it's just fun. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5. This is fun.
4 to 5. Okay. Cool. They didn't say when it's gonna run. Is it gonna just
No? Well, obviously Donatello is the next book, and then we'll probably figure out what's going on, like what the Foot Clan are doing. And we haven't Splinter is not around. It's just been the Turtles. We haven't seen Casey Jones or April or Baxter Stockman or anybody.
Yeah, putting all the pieces together and stuff. So yeah. All right. So first book I'm going to do is Absolute Wonder Woman #1.
Oh, I read this.
You read this. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to keep the absolute thing going, see what is it all about? So basically what it is, Darkseid has taken over this unit. This is his universe that he's influenced, and this is Wonder Woman, and she wasn't raised in Themyscira, she was raised in hell. So yeah, let's get to it. About this all new, all different Wonder Woman. So yeah. So the book starts off in Gateway City. So and next thing you know, boom, they get I guess it's Barry Allen, I guess, if you want to say it. I guess he's a reporter in this universe. So it may or may not be. I'm just thinking it is. But he reports that they see like this huge upside down pyramid floating towards them. And when they get closer to it, all of a sudden you got these demons that just shoot out of it all of a sudden, and they start attacking the city. They're like, oh shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And as soon as they look up in the sky, what do they see? Bam, Wonder Woman riding a demon skeleton Pegasus. Right in there. You hear the guitar riff. She's playing it right there. Now here's the thing. Now this is an homage. This is an homage right here, because on Wonder Woman's first comic, she showed up riding a horse on her comic. So it's a callback to that. So I'm like, okay. Kelly Thompson, I see what you're doing. Okay. So we go to it and she reaches in her, I guess, pocket, purse, or something like that she's got, and she whips out a huge broadsword. Yeah, and starts chopping all the demons up with like one swipe. Just get them all at one time like that. And matter of fact, the reporter, I guess, Barry, like that, he didn't even know who it is. He thinking it's like a dude doing all this shit. He's like, this guy is just chopping everybody else. She jumps off the Pegasus, chops everybody up, superhero landing, bam, lands, takes off the mask, and that's how they find out it's a woman. And then she takes the blood that she got from the demons, shade across her face like war paint. And then she claps her arms in, like the whole Wonder Woman, Wakanda Forever, whatever you want to call it, says some magic bullshit, and they all go away. So, yeah. And they just like, oh shit. So yeah, so then we get a fast forward. So we go to the island of Hell, population 1, because it's Cersei, and she used to rule the island of AEAA, some shit. I can't remember it's like that. But anyway, she's on that island. And she gets a visitor, Apollo, the sun god. And Apollo is there, just like, okay, look, I'm here to give you a gift. And the gift he give her is a baby. I want you to take care of that baby. This baby is called Diana. She's from the Amazons. The Amazons fucked up. They pissed off Zeus. So Zeus is going to punish them for all of eternity. And you're to keep that baby here. As a matter of fact, you are not allowed to say the word Amazon ever again. Matter of fact, try to say it just to see what happens. And she tried to say it and can't say it. She's like, oh, damn. And she's like, well, this is hell. How do you expect a baby to live in hell? You're like, I don't give a damn what you do with the baby. Just as long as the baby don't lead us out, I don't care. So she's like, fuck. So she just puts the baby down like about one leg and just the baby down. She's thinking like, well, if the guys are so pissed off at these Amazons, they got this Amazon baby here, it's only a matter of time before they send something on this island to take the baby out themselves. As soon as she says that, a snake starts crying for the baby. She's like, I might as well let the baby die now, because if I don't, the gods are going to send more stuff to come after the baby, meaning they're going to send more stuff to come after me. So might as well let nature take its course. And the snake gets close to the baby. The baby grabs the snake and yeets it out of there. And she's like, oh shit, okay, this ain't no regular baby. So then yeet. And we cut to it. And the baby is so nice that all the demons from hell become friends with her, and she turned them into pets.
Ooh, so
yeah, so it's like, okay, so yeah, so and then the baby is so nice when she grows up. Even Cersei starts, starting to love her and love on her, and basically that's like her surrogate child. That's her mom now. So they're like a mother and daughter thing, and she teaches about everything and stuff like that. Meanwhile, present day, Gateway City, Wonder Woman with her Pegasus, her demon Pegasus, she's like surround the perimeter. He like, and he goes off to it, and she is towering over this soldier right here. So for all you muscle mommy fetishes out there you go. So right there, she's like, who's in charge? You're like, that means you're not in charge. Who's the supervisor? And he points. He's like, okay. He's like, get the hell out of here. You're like, I thought you killed all the demons. Like, that wasn't the main demon. There's another one coming out of there. The thing that's in the pair. And then you see it, and it's Harbinger Prime, the main demon that sent the other little demons there. It's just like, as long as I'm here, this world is under my protection. So go tell your master that they have no claim here. And like, no, and she starts screaming, and then it screams so hard that she puts the sword down to try to block the screams. And that's when she kills Pegasus, like blast. So the Pegasus hit the flank. She grabs the sword, which is the sword of the blade of Athena. So she got all kind of like god weapons, stuff like that. Where she got it from, we don't know yet, So, and instead of trying to chop at her, she tries to do some magic shit. I guess she tried to like turn into a pet also to make a lover, but this demon ain't going for it. She starts shooting eye beams at her, and she get blasted. She's like, I hate it when they shoot eye beams at me. And then she said, rise, my harbinger. So all the demons that she killed wake back up. And then they start like going after the demons, stuff like that. Meanwhile, the harbingers try to blast her, and she's like dodging, get him out the way. Does the wrist thing again, the blast back at her. She's like, bam, hits her. She's like, oh, you won't play like that. Does a bigger blast, like blasts her so hard, she like knocks all across the beach and shit like that. It's like, bam, it slaps her to that. She's like, okay, this demon's too damn strong. And then she's flashback to Cersei, and she's basically telling Cersei, what is it I don't? Why am I so afraid to say what I think I know? Like, say it. You know what you are. Just say it. Say the word. Amazon. Say it again. Amazon. Say it again. Amazon. And then she present day. Amazon. So then she wakes up and she got all this tattoos and war paint and shit like that. She's like, okay, this shit is done. So she reaches in her purse again and pulls out the lasso of, we don't know what this is, lasso or something. Lasso of truth, lasso whatever.
Of awesomeness.
Right. It's something. This is Darkseid's world, so it can't be the lasso.
The darkest timeline.
It's the darkest timeline, so it gotta be something. So yeah,
community reference.
There you go. Like, I am daughter of Themyscira, daughter of Hell, daughter of Circe, daughter of the Amazons, and this world is mine and to protect.
And I sneeze like a girl. Community reference.
That's right. and that's it. So yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Eli. If I get it, they want to go. What we got? No. It's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that. But let me see.
The problem I have with the Wonder Woman comic. You don't like women?
You don't like? Oh, praise the Lord. Goddamn bag. You should read it. Okay. So I mean, no. Here's my problem with the story. I know they're trying to make this edgy, all-out edgelord Wonder Woman, and it's cool stuff like that. But the thing is, I've seen cooler, edgier edgelords Wonder Woman than this. You have too, Eli.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And remember Dark Knight, because you want to make a metal Wonder Woman, but we've seen a more metal Wonder Woman in Dark Knight's metal.
Hey, yo, Wonder Woman, what, Dead Earth?
That's what I'm saying. Dead Earth. That was metal Wonder Woman.
She's using
Wonder Woman. Yeah,
Superman's spine and skull as like a fucking a whip, or a mace or whatever.
Right. And in Dark Knight's metal, she had the fucking chainsaw. The chainsaw of truth. That's what I'm saying, like that. So you got metal Wonder Woman. You got a woman. I'm like, it's cool. It's there. I like it.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's that's the thing. It's not like we're ragging on the story. It's just we know this is the absolute universe. It's not gonna last.
Right. But DC, they say swinging for the fence with this. They going all out with
this. But I will say I did enjoy this more than the absolute Batman.
This story is more streamlined. I felt like Absolute Batman's a little bit more bloated than this.
Yeah, they're Absolute Batman, I feel, is trying so hard to let's turn this person into that person. This version of this character is this. We already just saw that in that the cartoon we watched during the summer. Different versions of Batman. We're starting to watch the Penguin. The different versions of the Penguins. That's all the Absolute Batman really is. Oh, this Batman is Batman, rich.
So you got to swing for the fences.
Yeah, this is pretty much still Diana. It's just she was raised just a different past. She was raised in hell, but she's still pretty much Diana.
And she feels like her. That's the thing.
Yeah. She's still the warrior princess. So I didn't hate it. The only thing I was it felt a little had that issue 1 sort of syndrome where we're going through, and I thought it was pretty clever how we had those same panels going through her past, but we had a few too many pages of her origin story. Okay,
they could have streamlined it down.
Yeah, we were going a little bit too long on her upbringing, and I get it. You're just having fun of having baby Wonder Woman in hell. That's fine, but I just felt it dragged a little bit too much.
It did drag, because you know how I kind of fast forward through those pages. I was like,
I did like the layout though. I did like the same panel scenes, and it's just
because it was she was over here, Circe was over here, and then you saw they were getting close. They got closer together on the page. So that made sense story wise. So
it was a cool layout. Her growing up through the years and all that. It just went on a little bit too long. So, but other than that, I enjoyed it.
All right, so we got one left. We got Superman. They better bring for me. They better bring it. All right. So what you got next?
Should I do The Moon is Following Us?
Fly me to the moon.
Oh shit! Where am I at? Am I there?
Oh, you see? Yeah.
Okay. I thought my window got minimized.
Oh, did you? Okay.
So I was wondering if I got kicked out, but.
Oh no.
Anyways, this is The Moon is Following Us, number 2. Daniel Warren Johnson. What's the other artist on it? So Daniel Warren Johnson wrote it. He co-wrote it. And co-art with Riley Rossmo. Oh no, and Mike Spicer's probably doing colors again. they're always, yeah, Mike Spicer always does
his partner
colors
in
for Daniel
crime.
Warren.
So
Yeah.
okay.
So Riley Rossmo and Daniel Warren Johnson co-creating this story. And I'm a huge Daniel Warren Johnson fan. I love his work, his stories. Not only is he a great artist, he's also a great writer. So he co-wrote this. This is basically about a girl who's in some sort of coma and stuck in a dream world, fighting some sort of fantasy war inside her dreams. And her parents have found a way to get into her dreams, enter her dreams, and help her fight that war. So this issue, this is number 2. We find out it's a flashback issue. We find out what happened to her, this little girl. She fell into some sort of coma. She's stuck in some sort of dream state. The doctors and scientists cannot explain it. She's not waking up, but she's stuck dreaming. And then some weird dude owl guy shows up and says, "Hey, I can help your daughter. The war has begun." And he gives her parents these like virtual reality devices to enter her dream, and they go into her dream world, and they kind of sort of lay out. So this issue lays out like her dream world, and all her toys are basically characters and warriors that her parents basically band up with to help fight this oncoming threat that's basically gonna fuck up her dreams or whatever. So that's what this is. It's most of it, like the first half, like I said, Daniel Warren Johnson really goes into the dramatic emotional weight of and character development. So the first part of this book is the parents wondering what's happening to their daughter. So this is a really heartfelt family, drama, tragedy, sad. Their daughter isn't waking up, and the doctors don't know what to do, and they're frustrated and hurt and sad. And then all of a sudden, hey, some weird mystical owl dude shows up. Hey, I know I can help your daughter. And then it turns into the fantastical fantasy world that yeah. So again, this is cool. It's a little it kind of reminds me of like a Jim Henson's or like a Neil Gaiman sort of story, like Coraline or something, entering that fantasy realm, but yeah, I'm digging it. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go to the callers. We've been kind of ignoring people for a while. Sci-Fi Center, what you got for us? Let's see. I'll be honest with you, I can barely read this shit with this pink.
Love the color scheme as well.
Oh, like I said, we're celebrating Breast Cancer Month. A lot of people just kind of forgot about that, so we're kind of celebrating. I've been meaning to do it, but I didn't get sure. Where are you guys based out of?
Well,
Wakanda.
I'm here and he's there. We're not in the same city. We're on the internet. We're in the cloud.
We are in the same time zone.
We are in the same size.
So
yeah,
that's a good sign right there. So yeah.
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 I'm north, he's south.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got next? Okay.
Could have used about 3 more pages of no flashback. Yeah. Again, he's saying the same thing. The flashback.
The flashback went a little bit longer. It almost felt like filler at a point.
Yeah. Like I said, I like the concept. I like the layout. It just went on like maybe a couple too many pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. That's why I kind of want to fast forward that. All right. So the next book last book I'm going to do. Last book I'm going to get just knocked out. Sorry, Eli. I didn't. Oh shit. I really like that picture, man. For some reason,
I did not. I don't even recognize her. What's her name? Heather Langenkamp.
Langenkamp.
Yeah, I don't even recognize her in that.
Cougar Mellencamp.
Like, damn, where the fuck was she back then?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
What was that version of her?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh man, it's almost like when you work with the chick at your job, and then you see her outside of your job, and she like like
damn, like where you been hiding those?
Where did that come from? Like you said, when she come to pick up her paycheck, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. We're being sexist, Eli.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Next week,
our privilege. All right. So the book we're going to do next is my book of the week. Even though we read Wonder Woman, my book of the week is Iron Man #1.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna pick something else, but okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more Iron
yeah.
Man.
I'm out later.
I know you're finna go. Ooh,
Iron
let's go
Man
get this.
#1. Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah, another Iron Man. We read Iron Man #1 last year. So yeah. So this is a reboot. I mean, not a reboot. A new run. It's a new run.
Yeah.
New writing team,
A
new artist,
rebirth.
rebirth, relaunch, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. It's a new storyline. Started from the beginning. We picked where it
A
left off.
requel. Yeah.
Right. So all the X-Men bullshit that he was tied in with last year, all that's done. Hold on. We go. Before we get into the big stuff. Let's see.
Got the red variant of this.
That variant is so whoo man, that variant is awesome. I don't collect anymore, but if I did collect, I collect that. All right. So anyway, what are we talking about? So this is a new relaunch, a new storyline, a new writer, new artist, all stuff like that. And we're just gonna start off with Iron Man and just see where it goes. Let's get to it. So the book starts off with they're in New York and they're at a Stark factory. And the thing is, the Stark factory workers are trying to unionize. Since they're trying to unionize, they're being locked out. They're basically saying you got to go home because since y'all going to unionize, we're closing the factory until y'all stop doing this shit. They're like, no, you're going to come through there, and that's when the two security guards like, no, you're not coming through. And they turn into big monsters. And they chase them away. Yeah, they chase away. Like we say, get the fuck out of here.
They turn into Hulklings.
They turn it, and that's what they say. They say they're Hulks. Get the fuck out of here. The Stark Enterprise, Tony Stark sent Hulks after us. So, and that's when they run after them and they try to catch them, stuff like that. And that's when, bam, they get blasted by a Unibeam. And that's when Iron Man shows up. And the reason he shows up because he's just like, look, let's get two things straight. One, I did not send these dudes after you. This is Stark Enterprises did this, but I didn't do that. I'm the CEO. I didn't do that. And matter of fact, these guys are not Hulks. Also, matter of fact, the lockout is over, and he blows open the locks in the gate. See, locks blown out, locks over. Y'all go inside. And these guys are not Hulks, but what they are fired. He was like, "Fuck you, Stark. You didn't hire us." They're like, "Oh, so y'all don't? So I ain't gotta go through HR to fuck you up? Cool." So then he started beating the shit out of them again. It's like, I'm gonna show you why you guys are not Hulks. And then they jump at them, and bam, they get blasted. And then they're like, "Oh shit! See, I told you what Hulks. Y'all feel that shit, or y'all want some more?" And then they turn back and they just walk off. He was like, "Okay, now I'll make sure y'all talk to HR and don't complain about this shit to me because I know y'all work for the guys that's under me." So yeah, so they move on there. And then the reason Tony Stark is here to talk to that guy, the union leader, because he wants to know why they're unionizing against him. You're like, the reason we're unionizing is because I know you got a problem with the stuff we're building here. And what are they building at this factory? Stark Sentinels. This is where they made them. No. That's where they made them.
Okay.
Yeah, they had factories all over the country. So they're like, since Tony Stark is back in power, he was like, I don't want Stark Sentinels be made. He was like, matter of fact, do you want Stark made? Do y'all don't have a problem building Stark Sentinels here? He was like, yeah, I got a problem Stark Sentinels building here. I don't even have a problem with mutants. But you know what I like doing? You know, paying my light bill, putting food on my family's table. I like doing that. So I'm building whatever y'all want me to build. But here's the thing. First thing y'all tell us to build weapons. Then you tell us don't build weapons. Then you tell us to build weapons again. We tired of this shit. So we want say so in what we build here. See, who like, okay, fine. I'll do that. Matter of fact, I'll talk to the board. We're going to work it in the contract. We will recognize you as a union, and you will be and we will work with you together on what gets built in this factory. You're like, deal. Because we're tired of whatever decisions y'all decide to make. We got to turn around and stop everything we doing and change your whim. We want to say so in that. He was like, fine, I understand just show but tell, but don't worry, it's going to work out. And he flies away. And all of a sudden, his boots run out of gas. You're like, what the fuck? Bam, he flies right through the factory. And they're like, oh shit, what the fuck, is he dead? Call an ambulance. So weeks go by. He was in a coma. Like, he got fucked up.
Damn.
Yeah, he got fucked up. He got, matter of fact, he broken bones, all kind of shit like that. He has to go to rehab. He has to relearn how to walk. And now look at him. Remember, he looked like he was all Tony Starkish in the first few issues. Now look at him. He's all weak and shit like that. Beard grown out, looking straggling, shit like that. Lost all that weight because he's been in rehab the whole time. So you're like, damn, they fucked me up. But he's not worried about any of that. Only thing he's worried about is how the hell did his suit malfunction? Because he ran the numbers. He did the diagnostic like that. He didn't find anything. She's like, what the hell? Okay. So he decided to whatever's going on, just decided to reboot all his suits just to make sure whatever happened doesn't happen again. So that's what's going on right now. But the thing is, today is the day he's having a meeting with his board. He has a board meeting. It's the first meeting he's had since he became CEO of Stark Enterprises again. So he can't miss the board because it's a whole new board. So he goes there, and it is all the dudes that used to run Orcus. They're over his board right now. All the people like that. So they hate him, and he hates them, but he's got to deal with them. So, and it's all kind of shield agents there that try to assassinate him and stuff like that. Oh, and this is what caught my attention. Melinda May is in this comic.
Oh, yeah.
The Cavalry. For those who don't know who that is, she's from Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The Cavalry, yes.
The Cavalry, yeah. So Melinda May, Ming Na Wen, that's what she played. So yeah. All right. So anyway, they're basically saying, so Stark is here like, look, I got this idea. I got this idea called Stark Book, where we're going to have people bet on superhero fights. You're like, oh, okay, Tony, I don't give a fuck. Like, no, we're going to do this because I'm getting out the weapons factory. You're like, no, you're not. And that's when Monica Rappaccini shows up. Now, for those who know who Monica Rappaccini is, she is the scientist supreme of AIM. They just made a huge deal on Stark Enterprises. They want to buy the whole company. And you're like, wait a minute, y'all finna sell the company to supervillains? Like, you know who she is, right? She's a terrorist. Yeah, she is, but she's a terrorist with a large bank account. And the reason she's there because they got bought out by Roxxon. So Roxxon bought AIM, and AIM is trying to buy Stark. And like, hold up, y'all okay with this? We're being bought by supervillains, terrorists, and oil companies just so we can make weapons? Like, no, this don't even seem right. You're like, look, you got a problem with it, Tony? You can vote in the board meeting next time we have a vote on it. But until then, there's nothing you can do about it. And she got this shitty grin on her face like that because she knows she basically beat him. Can't do anything. And he's back at his house just throwing shit because he know they beat him. And he's got his Iron Man helmet on, kind of like a VR headset. He's reading over the documents that AIM sent them to buy the company out. And he's also arguing with trolls on Twitter. They talking all kind of shit about him. And the footage of him falling in the ground, it's all over the internet. So everybody's on Twitter talking shit to him and stuff like that. They were like, good job, Iron Lib. Glad your woke ass failed. You know. And then you got Go DEI fall out the sky. For those who know who DEI is, that is diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's the new word for woke since y'all got about woke. It's a new woke. We're not going to get into it. But I'm just funny that they threw that in there. And then this other dude named Flying Tiger talking shit about it. Like, yeah, the only thing, Iron Man faster falling than me is gravity. And he was like, and that's when he decided to respond to him. We're like, who the fuck are you, Flying Tiger? You know, he tells the mask to do that. He was like, and this was like, oh, why don't you come find out? You left your location on, dumbass. And then he sees an explosion right across the street from him. Like, oh shit. So Flying Tiger, the dude on Twitter, is talking shit to him, telling him to come find him. He was like, okay, fine, I'll go find you. So he goes and he blows up. He sees a laundromat on fire. So he goes in there to see what's going on, blows up the laundromat. Even though he did a scan to see who's in there, he didn't see a scan of anybody, but these two dudes smacked the shit out of him. And they call themselves Team Tiger. One is Flying Tiger, the other one is Tiger Shark. And Tony Stark is just like, Tiger Shark is not a shark, you dumbasses. He was like, I tried to tell him that. And he starts smacking the shit out of him and blasting him. You got this big fight. They get bitten. And see, this is one of his weaker suits. And since he's still recovering, you know, he feels all that shit. He smacking him in the head, stuff like that. But he's like tired of that shit. So he body slams both of them. And then he looks over there and he's like, wait a minute. Are y'all Twitch streaming this shit? Like, y'all Twitch streaming me whooping your ass. He was like, let me guess. You blew up a laundromat because after you thought you were gonna whoop my ass, you wanted to look at the camera and say, I'm washed. You're like, motherfucker, you are washed. You're like, well, yeah, if I'm washed, why'd I whoop your ass? You're like, well, it doesn't even matter because my boss told me to just keep you busy anyway. And matter of fact, you better even think about getting that magic armor. And then he realized what happened. They sent some jobbers after him as a distraction. So like, oh shit, I need to get to my factory. So he flies out of there. It's like Sonic Boom and shit like that. Goes to his factory, walks in there, and bam, those same dudes that he fought at the beginning of the comic are back. He was like, didn't I tell y'all to take up your grievance with HR? He was like, nah, Stark, we're here to whoop your ass. Like, are you ready to whoop my ass? No. And he like smacked the shit out of them, whooped their ass. And after he beats them, he finds out that who's the boss that sent the Team Tigers and these assholes after him. They flips on the light, and it is Justine Hammer. Right. Justin Hammer's daughter that died back in the 80s. And Iron Man is just like, how the fuck are you back? He was like, Roxanne knows several things some may deem unnatural or whatever the fuck. So yeah. So she's the new Roxanne CEO. Remember, they killed Dario Auger, the Minotaur dude.
The Minotaur.
Yeah, because everybody thinks Thor murdered him, but he something else. I forgot what took him out. Anyway, that's new Roxanne CEO. She like, Tony, I'm here. Roxanne put me into it because they want your company just that bad. They knew I was going to be the one to make it happen. He was like, oh, really? Well, we're going to see what the fuck happens. So that's when Tony's like, okay, so the reason I'm here to get my Mysterium armor, the Mysterium anti-magic, stronger than adamantium, stronger than vibranium, all-powerful suit that nobody can stop. He was like, yeah, I'm going to fuck you up now. He was like, your Mysterium armor? You mean my Mysterium armor? Matter of fact, Tony, I appreciate you building that armor so we can steal it from you later on. Because remember, everything in this warehouse belongs to us because we're about to buy you. So she pulls out the Mysterio armor, turns it on, and becomes Ironmonger 2.0. And Tony's like, oh, shit, a giant robot. What am I going to do? I'm so scared. And smacks the shit out of her. He's like, bitch, my wife took that. My wife made this suit for me. You're like, you mean your ex-wife? Because Emma Frost did all this shit, gave him Mysterio from X-Men. So he's blasting and shit like that, but it ain't really working. And that's when Justine Hammer's telling him, Tony, don't you understand? This is not Armor Wars Part 3 or 2, whatever you want to call it. This fight is over. Don't you understand why your boots went out to begin with? Because I turned them off. Matter of fact, suit, stop. And he just drops to the ground. And she was like, oh, shit. So what happened? Those two monster assholes that raided Stark Laboratory to begin with, they plant a virus in his laboratory. But they did a magic virus. That's why his sensors didn't pick it up. And then when one of his suits got infected with the virus, when he did the update and the patch, he spread the virus to all of his suits. So he did their work for them. And she's like, thank you, Stark. You did all this shit for me. Now I control all of your suits. So, and she could have killed him right then and there, but she's like, you know what? I'll meet you at the board meeting next week, Stark. And just gets in her limousine and just leaves. Because she knows there's nothing he can do. He's beaten. So Tony's just like, okay, I can't use any of my suits. They had the Mysterio armor. They took it from me. I'm still recovering from the hospital. And he decides that, fuck it, the only one thing for me to do, make another suit. Down, the end. So yeah. So yeah, so that's why
nobody wants him.
So that's why Iron Man has the steampunk armor this in modern time. So because he can't use the other suits, he has to build an offline throwback suit. He's got to go old school. He's got to go analog.
All right.
So yeah, I like the book. The reason I like, and I know Eli, why I keep staying on these Iron Man books like that. I like the dichotomy of the book because you got a superhero that's worst enemy is capitalism, but his superpower is capitalism. It's the dichotomy,
I see.
Yeah. And they throw all kind of like capitalistic political messages and stuff like that, corporate messages, stuff like that. Like, okay, because he could just go in there and just blow up the suits and stuff like that, but he can't do that because his shareholders would sue him. So he just can't just superhero out,
Mm-hmm.
Red tape. I love that. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna get it
deep.
It's deep, man. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. They got it's like I said, it's a good jumping off point. You know how DC's got this all-in stuff right there. This is a very good jumping off point if you just want to pick up an Iron Man book and don't know shit that's going on. New run, you jump into it, boom, it's there. It makes references to all the other stuff, but you can pick up what's going on. So, yeah. All right. So what you got next?
Grommets number 5.
Grommets number 5. Let's talk about it.
So this is Rick Remender and Brian Posehn's book about skater kids in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Skater punk rock kids in the 80s. Growing up in Cali. So yeah, this is just a story about, like I said, this one kid moves to a new town. He's a skateboarder. He's into punk rock. He's kind of an outcast. Doesn't have any friends. He's got a kind of a troubled home life. he ends up befriending these other skater kids who are, with troubled home lives and rejects and got no friends. And it's a coming of age story. These kids just kind of growing up, coming from broken homes and finding solace in each other's companies because they're weird outcasts into shit that no one else is into. And that was me, because I relate to that, because I was a metalhead punk rocker in the 80s with barely any friends. And yes, I tried to skate for a while, and then my board,
we all did.
Yeah, my board broke and I was too poor to get another one. So yeah, so this is for me. I can relate a lot to this. This is very much nostalgia for me. So yeah, and that's what this book is. We're on number 5. So there's a party going on, and then a bunch of jock douchebag assholes.
Oh no,
show up.
This is not a party. This is a kegger.
Yeah, it's a kegger. Yeah, a high school kegger.
Right.
And a bunch of jock assholes show up and start basically beating them up and shit. And that's pretty much the storyline. But like I said, it is all about the coming of age. It's very much a slice of life book. I love there's like a what do you call this? Monologues at the beginning where one of the kids is like, man, punk rock and skating, it's always been an underground thing. It's never been the mainstream. Like nobody understands it but us, the real people, the rejects. We are the only ones who understand it. It's never going mainstream. All these jock assholes, they're never going to get into it. And it's funny because they did, Jocks.
Everything becomes mainstream eventually.
Yeah, jocks did hijack Metallica and Pantera in the 90s. That's why we have new metal. And that's why we had Limp Bizkit. That's why Woodstock 99 turned into a shit show. Because jock assholes who didn't understand the lifestyle, douched it all up. Funny thing about Woodstock 99, the big riot that happened and the mess that it turned out to be. A week later, I went to Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Mm-hmm.
They actually started doing them again last couple of years, but for like a long time, Milwaukee Metal Fest was like a big giant metal festival all weekend, tons of bands, a lot of bands that never played the United States before would play Milwaukee Metal Fest first time in the US because it was this big festival, big metalhead festival. Anyways, a week after Woodstock 99 and all that shit that happened, we went to Metal Fest the next weekend and we were making fun of Woodstock and what a shit show it was and how here we are, a bunch of real metalheads and punk rockers and shit, all getting along, not rioting,
Right. No
doing this shit,
panic. Yeah.
Doing this shit every year, So yeah, I just like that commentary that kid was talking about how, it's never going mainstream. It's going to stay underground, but it did go mainstream. Tony Hawk became a big, huge athlete now. And
right.
Yeah. So anyways, I really dig this book. This is probably my book of the week. I look forward to this book every month and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I love the art. I love the commentary. I love, just like I said, it's nostalgia for me, So yeah.
Nice. Every issue you've given has been a 5 out of 5.
So I love this book. Yes, it's been one of my favorite books. It's just like I said, it's just a lifestyle, a slice of life. Mm-hmm. Very much. I relate to it.
Cool. All right. So, anything else you got, or
did you not read Blade?
Blade.
The red band Blade. Blade number 1, Brian Hill.
I didn't know they came out with a Blade book.
I left that for you.
I didn't know they came out with a Blade book. I didn't see a Blade book. What the fuck?
Yeah, man. Blade number 1, red band. He's chopping a head in half right on the cover.
Well, no. Well, I mean, where'd you see the red band from? I didn't see.
I saw it. I saw it on the store.
Damn, no, I did not see that. Oh yeah, I see him chopping the head off on there. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't read it.
I did not know there was a new Blade book. Nah, you can.
I did read it.
Yeah, I mean, you can review it. I didn't know.
Well, basically, it takes place after the whole blood hunt shit, and he's recruited by I forget what they're called. These like weird dark magic user demon things to go kill an ancestor of Van Helsing because he's been possessed by vampires.
Hmm.
And it's very much that. The art is really cool. It feels like a manga. Like a lot of the layouts and the panels, how they're not just straight on squares. They're kind of zigzag and kind of at angles and weird shapes and stuff. It reminded me of a manga. And in fact, there's like scenes of Blade like meditating in Japan with his sword, and where he's like looks like a samurai, and yeah, it felt like a manga, and the action was very much
Almost
like
felt
that
like
sleek.
Afro Samurai.
Yeah, that slick, those really slick panels of action and the swords and shit. So, I didn't think it, other than the cover, there really wasn't anything to be a red band in this book.
Are you sure you read the Red Band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I not find it? Why did I not see that?
I mean, there's some blood and shit, there's some, but like it was kind of tame, but this is a new one. This is the start of a new one. And Brian Hill is still writing this, your boy.
I do not see this book. I'm looking for this book right now. I do not see this book.
Oh,
I know Comixology is a piece of shit, but yeah, I can't find it.
Yeah, I'm having issues with that. Like I said, I just might have to go back to stores, which
physical media.
I'm gonna have, that means I'm gonna have boxes and boxes of crap again.
Right. Don't worry, listeners. We will sell them to you 20 years from now. So.
Yeah. Well, what's this guy? The guy in chat has a store or whatever. The sci-fi guy or whatever. Sci-fi Center.
I think.
He's got a store.
Yeah.
He's got a store somewhere. So shout out to him and thanks for listening.
Yeah. Hey, plug your store, man. We don't care if you comment. Plug your store. We say what you want to say. Your address, your location, whatever. So yeah.
We might not live there, but we'll still,
we can
give you a shout out.
We might. Somebody might be listening to this that in your area. We can send business that way. So yeah, we got a problem with that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you got or?
No, that's it. I'm booked out.
Okay, this ain't to be an easy breezy week. No, I wasn't gonna go 1 hour and 30 minutes on Venom 3.
The deep dive, balls
like
deep
no spoilers and the shit. Nah, what's the point of that? So nah. So next week, new month. we're out of October. I will switch back to the old colors that we had before, and I will do a review on Black Ops. Matter of fact, you're gonna see some Twitch stream on it. You can check out Twitch stream. I'm pretty gonna just take that and just post videos of it next week. So we'll kind of go from there.
And I was gonna watch Hellboy, but I didn't yet. So
you didn't?
I'll try to watch that this week.
I'm glad you said something. Trap is on HBO.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay.
Wow. Oh, that didn't get the response I was expecting, but okay.
I did notice it was on HBO.
You did? Okay, all right.
When I was watching The Penguin.
Okay. I didn't see new episode. Don't spoil it for me. So
I haven't seen it yet either.
Okay.
I did watch the new. I am all caught up on Superman and Lois though.
Okay, yeah, it's on 3 episodes. So 4 episodes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's all we got. Like I said, next week, check it out. We're gonna have a bunch of other stuff for you. We'll see where we're gonna go. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel. Okay. Eli, check this out.